It's right there. Hello, yours truly. Just got, you know what that is. Just got another pack of seeds. And I'm glad that it came in the mail like it did. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon to you as well. Yes. Playing in my yard. All right now. Stafford. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? This is seeds. And it is it's time. It's a thousand seeds um time. And I got them off of eBay because I couldn't find I couldn't find the seeds I wanted at any of the box stores because it's still early. It's just still early. And I just went ahead and grabbed them because I know that if I wait much longer, the prices on the seeds are going to keep going up. They're not coming down; they're going up, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm paying prime prices for seeds. If anyone saw my latest video, tell me if you saw it. It's on ginger, and you'll see where I found some choice pieces of ginger at I think it's a Asian store. It's an Asian store. I found prime pieces of ginger. I mean, the pieces were, in my opinion, so big that you had no business really planting them. But I planted them anyway. It was interesting because they were telling me, and they were telling me at the store when I was there, it was ladies there helping me shop. I never met these ladies before in my life. First time shopping there, and they were in their 70s, and some of them might have been in their 80s. And so I go over to where the ginger is. I see two containers with ginger in it. One is very large pieces of ginger, and the other ones are very average sized pieces of ginger. And the lady, about 75 years old, Asian woman, said, "You should get this one here," and she was picking my own ginger out for me. I mean, I didn't get it. I loved it because that was so friendly to walk up to a man and and help him pick his ginger out. You never met him before, and I didn't mind at all. But she didn't know what I was picking him out for. It took her a couple of seconds, and she caught on. She said, "I said I'm looking for the ones with the eyes on them," and she said, "Oh, you're looking for them to grow." She caught on quick. I didn't tell her I was growing them. She picked that up real quick. Um, and the store owner was selling. It's amazing. They were selling these huge pieces cheaper than they were selling the smaller pieces. The smaller pieces went for more. And the Asian woman was explaining to me that they last longer. And if you look at the older pieces, they had been there a while. You can see they've been there a while. So when I got them, I brought them home and I soaked them. And people say to me, "Well, why do you soak them?" I had one gentleman leave a comment. And I like it when people leave comments. Um, he said, "Why are you soaking them?" Well, I'm soaking them to get or remove if there is any inhibitors on them, growth inhibitors, to remove some of that. And so these I didn't soak overnight though. I just soaked them maybe 3 or 4 hours, and comes in a hurry to get them in, planted, and everything because I want them to catch up to the other ones because the other ones I have were bought at a different store, an American store, or quote unquote, but they were uh, they took off. They were already growing. They're producing roots and getting ready to do a little bit more. So I'm happy about that. So I didn't want the ones I just purchased to be so far behind. Let me just say this to you. I planted so much ginger this year for my record. And I'm thinking I like that. I planted enough ginger because but I can't eat all the ginger that I'm growing. There's no way I can eat all this ginger. But I'm growing it for a reason, because I want to sell some, and I want to eat some, and I want some for replanting. But I'm telling you, I bought yesterday. I went out to get seeds. All I went to do was get some seeds at Walmart, and those 50-cent seeds, and I did not see any seeds at Walmart, any at this particular Walmart. And I was kind of sad because I'm thinking, wow, why don't they have their seeds yet? All the box stores have theirs. Lowe's and Home Depot all have their seeds. Some of the dollar stores have theirs already. But Walmart, this particular Walmart, is waiting all the way up into, and when they do that, it creates, I know what it does, it creates a rush on the seeds when they get there. Because when I go there, I never could hit the 50-cent seeds without seeing that there was multiple types of plants emptied out, like somebody came in and grabbed handfuls of this and handfuls of that, and I see that. So and when I get those seeds, I'm not missing anything because a lot of the seeds are things I already have. So it's no big loss. But I went online, I purchased some seeds at what do they call it, eBay, and so I'm all set. This came in. It's supposed to come in on the 19th or something, and I'm glad it came now because it just, that's my time. And I'm not gonna do like I did last year. I grew time, folks. I grew time and just let it go to waste. I grew it. It grew pretty. It was, the pots were full, and because of my work schedule, I never got to eat any of it. I just simply watched it grow, turn brown, and that was it. And I could have kept it while it was brown and did something with it, but I didn't. But this year, hopefully it's a little different. My schedule was crazy last year. But this is 1,000 seeds. I'm going to grow as much as I can possibly handle. I got flowers I'm going to put in. I got vegetables I'm going to put in, and corn I'm going to start. And that's the deal, folks. That's the deal. And my ground is been fertilized throughout the fall and winter with just simple weeds and grass, chop and drop. And that's what I did. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the deal is on this today. And so I'm going to be ahead of the game, so to speak. Yeah, I'm going to be ahead of the game because I need to get that in check. I want to be that guy that's got everything growing. And I got a lot of people I want to give some items to. And if somebody out there needs in my neighborhood food to eat, I'm willing to help them out. But my favorite, I'm going to grow Silver Queen this year. First time growing Silver Queen corn. Did peaches and cream. Love that corn. That was given to me years ago. The particular that particular corn by a Garden Revel. Garden Revel gave me some. He sent me some seeds, and it was really nice of him to do that. All the years I had people like Food Forest Permaculture send me seeds, and that was really nice of him. He sent me some seeds, and then you had another one, which I said was Garden Revel. So I appreciate that. It was a beautiful thing to do that. Now, am I excited? Absolutely, I am excited. I may not look like it, but I'm totally excited. I did buy a plant while I was at what's the name of that place? I was at Home Depot, and they had never seen a Home Depot before, which was that plant called pomegranate. And I did buy one. Yes, I did. I bought a pomegranate plant. They were little small, pathetic little plants, but I bought one, and they got a little note that says, "Put it in the ground as soon as the." It got the instruction written on the box. Put it in the ground as soon as the what they call it, the soil could be worked. And I said, okay, I got this. This baby is mine, and I'm gonna put it in there like I did my blackberries almost 7, 8 years ago. I'm gonna put it in there like I normally would plant something. Put a little bit of that compost right next to the root base. Close that hole up. Water it in with some liquid fertilizer to kind of give it a like that, so it doesn't suffer from any shock. And then I'm gonna let it just roll for itself. Now, I got a feeling this particular plant gets big. I got a feeling this plant gets big, and I'm gonna have to keep it in check because I can't have plants growing all into my neighbor's property. I can't do that. That's not fun at all. They don't like that. But when you see those pomegranates growing on those plants, and they say you pick them in the fall or like that, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I have a lot of fun doing this, giving out information on this channel. Doesn't get hit a lot. People don't come in. That's fine. This is the best kept secret, period, is this garden channel here. It gives out good information. I know that because I try to make sure that all the information I give out is accurate. I try to make certain that it's friendly and professional. And I do this because I love, when people drop in and they get information that helps them move from point A to point B in their gardening endeavors or their gardening efforts. And I like that. I like that, and I do get a kick out of sometimes I'll look at a channel and there are people on there using techniques that they have gotten from my channel. And I recognize them because they're like fingerprints. I can recognize them, and I appreciate that. Let's see. Howdy. It's a long time since I heard somebody say that. Howdy. All right now. See what I mean? This channel is something. You get people to come in, and we're from all different walks of life, and we approach things differently. But we have one thing in common: we all like to eat good food, and we all are into gardening. That's one thing about this channel. I tried desperately because I remember saying to myself, "Get the word out about your channel." And I got online with someone, God, I can't call their name, and they talked to me and they told me, this is what you need to do to get this channel out there. She said, because I'm looking at your channel and you got a lot of content, but not a lot of action on this channel. And I said, okay. I said, could it be me? And they said, yeah, well, let's just look at some other factors, And so I looked at that and I said, well, he said, take all your music and stuff off of your channel. Take it off. It should be just gardening. And you get another channel, put all that on that channel, and then you go from there. And I can understand them saying that, because people come in and they hear you singing and they don't want to hear you singing, they want to hear gardening. Or they come in and want to hear you singing, they don't want to hear gardening, But I enjoy both, actually. But to put a seed in the ground that you have taken the soil and you have prepped it to its absolute best. I don't care if you have clay soil. I don't care if you have sandy soil, loamy soil. You have to pay attention to that soil. You have to. You cannot just neglect it. Because I see people that will start a garden the first year, and then you usually do pretty good the first year because everything is. Hello, how you doing, Mr. Price? All right now. When you put everything in perspective. I've seen people start a garden the first year and get lots of growth and tomatoes, if they grow tomatoes and cucumbers and everything, and they're all excited. They think every year they're going to do this, and it's not that way. If you leave that soil exactly like it is, and you don't take care of that soil, next year your take will be less, and the year after that will be even less, and the year after that will be even less. So I learned that because I have experienced it over the years. And so when you do that, you got to understand that if you don't put life back into that soil, because you got to remember, the biology is eating and they're excreting their materials into your soil, which that's what your plant grows from. And so that being said, is that you have to put it back. You can't keep going to a bank account that's got $100 in it and take 50 out this week, and then 3 more weeks from there take about 25 out, and your bank account is going to have less strength because of the fact that you're taking money out. But if you take and put $1,000 in this week, and then 3 more weeks ago put $4,000 in, your bank account is gathering strength. So you can do things with it. Your soil is the same. If you do not put back, you will not get out. And a dead giveaway of your soil being bad for you or getting in any worse condition is that you tend to grow less. And then when you grow less, you grow things and they're smaller. And you're saying, wait a minute. I don't understand. What went wrong? I've seen people come to their garden, and that's what they were taught through the books and all. It says till your soil, fertilize your ground, and then put in your seeds and that sort of thing. Now, nature does it differently. Nature starts in the fall, dropping leaves, and you see as it go further into fall, certain plants that survive during the summer are starting to die back, and they lay on the soil, and they put back energy back into the soil. And that starts in fall. And when that starts in fall, all the way through winter, it's plants that are laying on the ground because of their inability to deal with the temperatures. And they lay on the ground and they go back into the ground by the force of gravity and also by the biology into the soil. The biology takes the center ring and they simply put the energy back into the soil. If you don't chop and drop, or some people haul in materials, which means they're emptying out somewhere else where that material is supposed to be. They're emptying out somewhere there. But if you use what's on your property, like I've been doing for the last, about 3 years, I have been using a lot of chop and drop. And I love to use chop and drop because one thing, it's free and it works. And it's something nature does. And it's natural. And I like that because I see my soil responding by being, number one, when I first started gardening here, my soil was a off-brown kind of grayish soil. And it was clay and it was sticky. It's not like that now. It's black, it's crumbly, and it is great for, digging and being able to do things with. It grows lots of weeds. And the weeds are growing because of the seeds that are being left there. And I thought about buying a tarp and draping that over it in the fall and letting it sit all year long and see what happens. You kill a lot of the seeds. If you put it there at certain times of the year and let the sun beat down on it, you can kill those seeds. But I like to use the weeds. I give them a job. Their job is to grow me food. The grass's job is to grow me food. And that's what I do. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. So I do that. And this is one of my seed packs. I'm loving that because I like thyme. I started loving thyme when it was in the restaurants when I worked there years ago. And I loved it because it's an herb that just makes things taste incredible. Yeah. Nature and gardening becomes a lot easier. Yes, thank you for that. You're right. You're absolutely right. The microbes in nature and gardening becomes a lot easier. It does. It just comes, and I thought it was just me that I just got smarter over the years because I watch gardeners and I watch farmers, and they dig and they dig, and I just look at them and I just said, wow, that used to be me. And when they dig, they don't realize every time you keep digging in the soil and moving it around, you are making that soil worse than what you think you're doing. Because I bought a tiller, a 5.5 horsepower Craftsman tiller, Sears and Robots. Worst investment I could have ever made. It tilled the soil up. The soil was soft like cotton. I was like, oh man, I love this. Oh, this is great. Just like on TV. Put my seeds in the ground. It would rain later that month or that week. And I noticed the ground had these cracks in it. And I was looking at it and said, oh, what I've seen that before. This is not a good sign. And the ground was cracking, and the ground had this surface on it, which was like a smooth kind of surface. And I said, this can't be right. And so I did some more research, and there was one particular book I had called The Complete Guide to Gardening. When they say that, you know it's full of hooey. But back during that time, anyway, I had the book, and it said, till your soil, put in fertilizer 10-10-10. And it said, put your plants in. It talked about spacing and that sort of thing. But here's what the problem was. The book was telling me to till. Book was telling me to use man-made chemicals in my garden. Not saying it won't work for a little while, but after a while, you headed down the hill, you headed for trouble. And so what I do now is I use all natural stuff. And I got to tell you, the benefits of natural stuff is that the food tastes incredible. You got a higher brick level, things are sweeter. Clay soil like I have, and a lot of you have clay soil. I guess you're just blessed like that. It is chock full of minerals. I mean, it absolutely is full of minerals. And it helps your food grow better, full of sweet, highly mineralized vegetables. So I love it. I love it, but I'm enjoying the thing, which is chop and drop. I'm enjoying that. Oh my God, I'm enjoying that. I love it. Chop and drop. It's a beautiful thing. You cut down everything with either a trimmer, or I use a trimmer, and sometimes I use a lawnmower. Sometimes I go out there with my tractor and I set it. My tractor's got to be set up at a certain point, and it just chops down everything. It's got a powerful motor, just chops down everything. And then when I get to where I can't get to certain areas, then I break out the trimmer. And then when I break out the trimmer, and even my fruit trees benefit from this practice, because I have an area where I can't get the tractor into, can't get the lawnmower into, and I just go back there with my weed whacker and I just chop down everything. There are big vines back there. There are all kinds of vicious plants with huge leaves and like that, and vines everywhere growing up and everything. And I just chop down everything and leave it there, and all that stuff lays on that soil, and it takes that energy right to my fruit trees. And I said, wait a minute. That's why I'm getting all these peaches, all these pears on this tree, all of these cherries on this tree, all of these grapes on this grapevine. Because all back in that area, all I do is just chop and drop back there. Been doing it for years. And it really helps that soil to become more rich and full of life. Now, I got a beautiful grapevine back there. And this year when I hurt my knee and I let my garden totally get away from me. And when it did, I didn't get a chance to get back there. I hope that those weeds, because they grew up over everything, and I hope they didn't choke off my grapevines, because they were over everything. They were blocking out the sun. Do not understand chop and drop. Let's see. Most people do not understand chop and drop and anything. I should finish the job by cleaning up. Oh, I like that what you said, Mr. Price, because I got to tell you, there are a lot of things about gardening that some people don't understand. People see me out there with this trash receptacle, they see me putting weeds in it, and then I leave it open, and I let rain hit it, and then it just fills it up, or it just fills it up halfway, whatever, and it rots everything in there, and they don't understand it. That's just liquid fertilizer, beautiful liquid fertilizer. So you don't have to run to the store, and if you get real particular, like see, a lot of these gardening videos, they keep trying to tell you, because oh God, I hate it. Oh, I'm getting a headache, folks. Because I think about when people try to make this thing just difficult to understand, it just bugs the hell out of me. It really does. I think that's just human nature to please listen to me. I'm smart. Please listen to me. I know some stuff. And I'm saying, oh my God, why do they do that? They will tell you, oh, when you're making a weed tea, you use this kind of weed and comfrey, and use that comfrey, and you come over here and then nettles, and they telling you what specific weeds can be used, and when they do that, it kills the whole purpose, because now you got the person that doesn't know on the other end listening to you, and they thinking, oh, it's got to be comfrey. That's what he said. Yeah, it's got to be this, and it's really sad because he's telling you the wrong information. Instead of telling you some weeds may be better than others at this particular task, but all weeds are plant life. That's what they are, and you can extract the energy from them by putting them in water and other things you can add if you want to add sugars and that sort of thing. People get carried away with it. I had one guy used to add beer in it, that sort of thing. And so when this happens, you have a situation where you don't want to confuse people. You just don't want to confuse people. It's just a weed is simply a plant. Some plants have deeper root systems than others, and will tap deeper into the subsoil, pulling up more minerals. And if you're trying to use the leaves and the stems of these plants, yeah, okay, I get that. But don't tell the person only use these two, only use these three. Just tell them these are the three here that I particularly like to use because they have a larger root system. You can use any weeds, but you don't have to necessarily have comfrey. And if somebody come across like that, I got them. I go, okay, I understand what they're saying. The um, the liquid tea, when you make it correctly, is simply one part, and you thin it out, or you reduce it, or you. I mean, excuse me, not reduce. I'm using the wrong word here. You simply take it and you make the tea weaker, and you add one part. Usually, I add. This is what I add. This is what I add. I add one part of my weed tea to 10 parts rainwater. Now, you can use regular water. See what I just did there? You can use regular water, or you can use rainwater. I like rainwater because rainwater, it doesn't contain a lot of the chemicals that man puts into it. I like to use water that is somewhat natural, and you want to make certain that you give your plants nourishment, organic matter, things that were once alive. That's things that were once alive. You're giving your plants that, and they do quite well when you do. I throw. Yeah, I mean anything you could add to your compost pile. Anything you could add, a soil path like Mr. Food Farms Permaculture likes to use. Anything that is organic can be added to the soil. Things that were once alive can be added to the soil. And that's simple as that. I can't put it any simpler. That's how it works. So improve your soil, get your soil together. And the worst thing I hate to tell you is this. It does take time. It does take time. Because when you use soil up, and it didn't take overnight to use that soil up, to to dig and dig into it to make it worse than what it should be. It took time to do that. It's going to take time to bring it back. But the key, the very key to your soil is organic matter, and that's it. That's it. And the companies keep playing games with you, and and they tell you buy this, it'll make your plants grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Buy this, and it'll super juice, things like that. Crazy horse growing root system, whatever they want to name it, and they sell it to you, and you buy it, and you get it, and you realize you just been took because you can put your plants on all kind of steroids and grow incredible sized plants, grow plants faster, stronger. But I've seen plants grown with, I'll give you a good example, using Miracle Grow, which is well known to everyone, being out there for so long and being advertised all over the world. Miracle Grow is well known. However, if you put Miracle Grow on your plants, it'll do things like this. Your plants will grow fast. Oh, yes, they will. And they will grow out of balance. And when they grow out of balance, you got this big plant sitting there. It's soft and tender because it's growing too fast. And when this happens, bugs will eat it up. Bugs will eat it up. So your plant's standing there as a junkie. You're giving it steroids or food that seem like it's on steroids. And when you do this, it's just your plants are eating it and growing, and the bugs are following it because the plant's under distress. Every time the fertilizer gets a little low around the roots, it starts going into stress, and because it doesn't last long. One thing about um, Miracle Grow, it doesn't last long. You put it down, the plants drink it in, and then it starts to leave the system immediately. And you got to keep giving it that steroid or that food, and the bugs will be eating it up. And so on one end you're spraying with a chemical to kill the bugs. On the other end you're spraying chemical to feed the plant. So you basically got a doped up plant that's full of a chemical that you should not be eating in the first place. So when this happens, you got to remember that if you just use a natural way and you feed the plant, some people call it spoon feeding it, and you feed it on a regular basis, and you make certain that you go out and look at your plants. And the most important part of the plant you're going to look at is going to be those leaves. You're going to look at those leaves. You're going to look for bite, how much biting is going on. You're going to look for what the color of the leaves actually are, not just green, but how green are they? How well are they doing? And you want to pay attention to that stuff because that's telling you what your plant is actually doing. And when you do this, folks, you got a beautiful, beautiful relationship with your plants. You get to understand them and tell what they need and when they need it. Um, uh, Organic fertilizer, uh, you want to go with the food that is organic. And that means that if you got some great, you want to give a plant a lot of nitrogen and give it a nice boost, cut your grass, bag it up, put it around the base of your plant about 2 inches deep, and put it at about 15 inches in circumference if you're growing something like a pepper plant or a tomato. Oh, wait a minute. Not those two plants. I'm sorry. Those two plants will grow bigger and they'll stop producing fruit because of the high nitrogen you're giving it. But if you have a plant that needs leaves and needs to grow bigger and you want it to get up out of this small stage because you just bought the plant and you're not trying to get any fruit off of it right at this moment, but you want to get bigger and get it up to growing, you try this method and you'll see the plant grow. Same thing with buying a tree. You put that around that plant and that grass clippings will give it that nitrogen and it'll take off. But when it starts to show any signs of blooms, then you drop back on the nitrogen. Okay. You drop back on it, and when you drop back on it, it'll start producing fruit because it'll start producing more blossoms, but come off of the nitrogen. Nitrogen is great to get it up and growing, get some leaf growth around it, and that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Thank you. So the whole thing in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is this. Your job is to grow soil. It's that simple. Just soil. Make soil better, and your plants will do the rest. Your plants will do the rest. You don't have to worry about your plants. People try to do the opposite. Oh, I was get this spray and spray it on my plant. There you go, right on the plant. And the plant likes it when you're giving the foliar feeding. When you give it that, it's going to reach down and suck that in, and it's going to say, "Oh, that was good. That was really great." And if you put some fertilizer around the roots of it, something that is long-term feeding, like if you want to use, like I said, grass clippings. Some people use. I used to put it like this: my trees eat tree branches, grass clippings. I do a chop and drop of the weeds and the grasses around the plants, and they do quite well. They do absolutely do great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Morning Gardener. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. This has been the Morning Gardener on a Tuesday afternoon here in Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you, and remember to keep on growing and have a good day. Thank you.